Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Now, I didn't get to film the video that I wanted to this week, but I had lots of feedback and questions from various places, and one question in particular caught my eye, so that's going to be the topic of this short video. We're going to answer a question from the audience. Now, this video is a bit of a flyer, so I haven't had time to check with the person that sent the question if it's all right to say who they are. So I'm just going to do this anonymously. And here is the question that I got over Facebook. I moved house 6 months ago and now have the pleasure of a much larger garden, most of which have been covered with concrete from a workshop, shed, things like that. I've removed the concrete and now I want to get the soil back to good health. What would be my best starting point? Now, I thought that this particular question was quite good because actually it's quite a common question that I get in the laboratory, especially after the last 2.5, 3 years almost of shenanigans with global pandemics. It's meant that a lot more people have spent time at home and have been more concerned about what they're growing and what sort of things may or may not be in their gardens. So this sort of question is music to my ears because it shows that mindsets are changing. People are starting to understand that having healthy soil that works properly is really, really important for so many different reasons. Not just the planet, but also if you're going to grow your own food and plants, you need the healthiest environment that you can. And that's why, in response to this particular person's question, I say what I always do, which is to test your soil. Now, the reason for this is because there is not a one size fits all. Everybody's soil, everybody's situation is completely different, and you can't just make an assessment from what someone's written. You could make a limited amount of assessments from a visual inspection of the soil, but until you actually undertake some form of analysis, you are not going to know what sort of steps you need to take. Now, for a lot of people, testing your soil is maybe something they haven't considered. It's considered either it's going to be too expensive or inaccessible to Joe Public. This isn't the case. More and more laboratories are testing for simple homeowners, allotmenteers, homesteaders, small kind of one-off samples that aren't a tremendous amount of money to them on a commercial scale. But more and more people are requesting it, and it is available and on offer. And I think when you start to look into it, you would be surprised at how cost effective it could ultimately be. It might cost you a few pounds in the short term, but the benefits from that are going to be huge. Now, if I needed to justify this further, just think about human health. If you felt under the weather, poorly, you had something wrong with you, you would go and see the doctor, who would carry out a series of checks targeted to either eliminate or confirm, validate the presence of something that should or shouldn't be there. And soil is no different. It's a process of elimination and also detection. And so in the case of this particular person, my recommendation was get a simple physical and chemical soil assessment. So look at the pH of the soil, the percentage organic matter, to see if there's the capability to support and sustain microorganisms in it for any period of time, and then maybe look at a couple of major elements as well: phosphorus, potassium, maybe magnesium as well. If there is nothing too wildly amiss with those, and the laboratory should be able to guide you on what high levels are, then crack on and start to grow things. If you're still uncertain though, you might want to do further tests to see if there are the presence of toxins. And this is another area of concern that a lot of people have. And one of the issues with detecting toxins in soil is, more often than not, you need to know what you are looking for. There are very few testing suites that are a broad scan of lots and lots of different common toxic elements. And if they are in existence, they often cost a huge amount of money, hundreds and hundreds of pounds, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So a crest test might be the best way forward, at least in the initial stages. Take some of your soil, put it in a pot and grow some cress in it. If the cress plants look all disfigured, discoloured, etc., chances are there could be something wrong with your soil, and it's then probably worth speaking to a laboratory to understand what tests are available. But the more background information you have on the area, the better. So if you can understand the land use, or if you've moved house like this person, maybe what sort of ways the previous inhabitants gardened and whatnot, that might help you to narrow down exactly what you are testing for the presence or absence of, and if it is there, in what concentrations. So a little bit of detective work, a little bit of practical testing mixed with a hard, fast, simple, not too expensive, basic kind of horticultural test is the way to go. That is the answer. So there we go, just a short video today. I quite enjoyed doing a Q&A, and it'd be great if any of you guys have questions for me to answer. I'll either answer them in the comments, or if I think they're interesting enough, maybe we'll do a video on it as well. Let me know what you think. Anyway, that wraps it up for now. Until the next video, I will see you.